with the weather over Indian region is 1.7 degrees Celsius. That means strong El Nino conditions are still persisting over East Equatorial Pacific and Central Equatorial Pacific region, and that you can see in this diagram on the left-hand side. So these strong El Nino conditions are persisting. You can see from this diagram, and on the right-hand side, you can also see the evolution, what has happened over the months. The January 2024 conditions, the strong El Nino conditions are persisting in all regions, you can see. Now let us look at latest El Nino Southern Oscillation in Indian Ocean dipole forecast for January 2024, based on January 2024. If I just look at the left-hand side diagram, this is official NOAA ENSO probability forecast for January 2024. It shows that this red bar is persisting December, January, February, March, April. March, April, May also the neutral condition is increasing, but still the dominant mode is the El Nino conditions. But for the April, May, June, when you go for the period April, May, June, the gray bar is the highest. That means by April, May, June, the ENSO condition will be converted or will be transitioning into the neutral conditions. So ENSO neutral condition is expected during the period April to June, and probability is 73%. There is 73% probability that during the period April to June, ENSO condition, strong ENSO condition will be replaced by the neutral condition. Now, same is reflected here if you consider different individual models predicting the ENSO. Now, looking at Indian Ocean dipole, it shows that most of the models are indicating that it has become normal. Many models indicate prevailing neutral Indian Ocean dipole conditions will continue. So the positive IOD, what we've had earlier, that has been normal in the last month we told, and that normal conditions are continuing, and prediction is that it will be the normal or neutral IOD conditions in future. And same is the case with the model forecast. Now, this is the model forecast from our own individual model, that is a monsoon mission climate forecast system model run in Ministry of Earth Sciences. That also agrees with the global models and telling that yes, now strong ENSO conditions are prevailing in the Central and East Equatorial Pacific, but it will be replaced gradually. And if you look at this April, May, June, it is red, but May, June, July, there is a little difference here. The MMCFS forecast suggests that during the period May, June, July, it will be the neutral conditions. However, it is a decreasing trend. The red bar is decreasing. So there is a consensus among the models that yes, strong ENSO conditions are weakening gradually and it will be replaced by either April, May, June or May, June, July. So therefore, if I take the common months, it will be May, June. So by May, June, it will become the neutral ENSO conditions. So then it becomes the Indian Ocean dipole. It's also indicating that the neutral Indian Ocean dipole will continue. There is a neutral Indian Ocean dipole. This is highest. So neutral Indian Ocean dipole is likely to continue May, June, July. Till May, June, July, neutral Indian Ocean dipole is expected based on the monsoon mission climate forecast system. Now, this is the Southern Oscillation Index. This is the index defined as pressure at Tahiti minus pressure at Darwin, PT minus PD. That also indicates that it is becoming positive gradually. So it is from negative, it is becoming the positive. That means it is also showing that the improvement in the Southern Oscillation Index. Now let us look at the forecast, the probability forecast for 2024 February rainfall based on our multimodal ensemble forecasting system. Now, if you consider the rainfall over North India, when I say North India, actually it includes Jammu and Kashmir, Ladakh, Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Punjab, Haryana, Chandigarh, Delhi, and Uttar Pradesh. So these 7 meteorological subdivisions, if you consider, you find that the rainfall averaged over this region is likely to be above normal, that is more than 122% of the long period average. And long period average of rainfall over this North India is about 65 millimeter for the month of February. So monthly rainfall for country as a whole, if you just consider, that also finds to be above normal, that is more than 119% of long period average. So that means for the country as a whole and also for northern India, those 7 meteorological subdivisions, that is West UP, East UP, Haryana, Chandigarh, Delhi, Punjab, Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh, Himachal Pradesh, and Uttarakhand. Taken together, we will have the above normal rainfall activity, and also country as a whole will have the above normal rainfall activity. And now, if you look at the now special distribution,
हाँ जी.
the normal to above
Audio
normal
test 1 2 3 4 5
is
6 7 8 9 10. Audio test 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10.
hello. Normal to above normal rainfall is likely over most parts of northeast India, central India, and northwest India. The below normal rainfall is likely
डालने मत देना
most
कुछ.
parts of south peninsular India. Now, the probability forecast for the minimum temperatures indicates that during February 2024, minimum temperatures are most likely to be above normal over the most
वैसे
part.
मुड़ के देखूं.
Hello, can you please remain silent,
हाँ,
please?
मतलब मैं पूछ रहा हूँ मुड़ना भी है क्या, जैसे पैकेज लेते हैं, या नॉर्मली ऐसे ही देख.
Can you please switch off your audio, please? So this is the probability forecast of the minimum temperature. It shows that minimum temperature is expected to be above normal. All these orange, red colors are above normal over most parts of the country, except some coastal areas of North Andhra Pradesh, coastal Odisha, and coastal West Bengal, and some parts in southern West Bengal and Sikkim, like that, where it can be normal. Otherwise, it will be above normal minimum temperature. Okay. Now, if you just look at the cold wave duration in days for February 2024, so below normal cold wave days are expected. Since temperatures are expected to be higher than normal, it's obvious that cold wave conditions are not expected to be higher than normal. So there could be normal or below normal cold wave conditions in the country, and especially central part of the country, Madhya Pradesh and adjoining UP, we expect below normal cold wave conditions. Now, this is the probability forecast for maximum temperature, that is the day temperature. It also indicates that northwest India and adjoining west central India will have the above normal day temperature. Similarly, major parts of northeast India also will have above normal temperature. East central India also will have above normal temperature to some extent, and remaining parts will have the below normal temperature or normal temperature. Green indicates normal, blue indicates blue or violet indicates below normal, and yellow, orange, red indicates the above normal temperature probability. So I will tell the summary. So monthly rainfall for 2024 February over northwest India, consisting of 7 meteorological subdivisions like East Uttar Pradesh, West Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Haryana, Chandigarh, Delhi, Punjab, Himachal Pradesh, Jammu and Kashmir, and Ladakh, is most likely to be above normal. That is greater than 122% of the long period average. Monthly rainfall over the country as a whole is also likely to be above normal, more than 119% of LPA. Normal to above normal rainfall is likely over most parts of northeast, central, and northwest India. Below normal rainfall is likely over most parts of south peninsular India. Monthly minimum temperatures are likely to be above normal over most parts of the country. And monthly maximum temperatures for February are likely to be above normal over most parts of northwest India, west central India, and northeast India, and some parts of east central India. Normal to below normal maximum temperatures are likely in some parts of the peninsular India and some parts of east central India. So below normal cold wave days are expected because temperatures are expected to be higher, and especially over central India, it is expected to be below normal cold wave days. मैं अभी आपको हिंदी में जानकारी देने के लिए कोशिश करूंगा. 2024 फरवरी में उत्तर भारत में मासिक वर्षा सामान्य से अधिक होने की संभावना है. 1971 टू 2020 के आंकड़ों के आधार पर फरवरी के दौरान उत्तर भारत में वर्षा का एलपीए लगभग 65.0 मिलीमीटर है. फरवरी 2024 के दौरान पूरे देश में मासिक वर्षा सामान्य से अधिक यानी दीर्घावधि औसत एलपीए का 119% से ज्यादा होने की संभावना है. 1971 से 2020 के आंकड़ों के आधार पर फरवरी के दौरान पूरे देश में वर्षा का एलपीए लगभग 22.7 मिलीमीटर है। उत्तर पश्चिम, पूर्वोत्तर और मध्य भारत के अधिकांश हिस्सों में सामान्य से लेकर सामान्य से अधिक वर्षा होने की संभावना है। दक्षिण प्रायद्वीपीय भारत के अधिकांश हिस्सों में सामान्य से नीचे वर्षा होने की संभावना है।
Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Siddharth Bharadwaj. Coming up in the next 30 minutes.
न्यूनतम तापमान की बात करें,
India's President Draupadi Murmu addresses joint sitting of both houses of parliament, says government has continuously upheld its commitment to reform, perform and transform.
Mr. Sanjeev Singh, please mute.
Ahead of the parliament's budget session, India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi asks MPs habitual of creating disturbances to introspect.
न्यूनतम तापमान के लिए संभावित
European
पूर्वानुमान।
Union leaders to propose annual debates on a planned 50 billion euro aid package for Ukraine in Brussels today.
Mr. Sanjeev Singh, please mute your mic.
ओके, सो न्यूनतम तापमान के लिए संभावित पूर्वानुमान इंगित करता है कि फरवरी 2024 के दौरान देश के अधिकांश हिस्सों में न्यूनतम तापमान सामान्य से अधिक रहने का संभावना है। और शीतलहर की अवधि की विसंगति के पूर्वानुमान करें तो फरवरी 2024 के महीने के दौरान मध्य भारत के कुछ हिस्सों में सामान्य से नीचे शीतलहर अनुभव होने का पूर्वानुमान किया जा रहा है। अभी आप 2024 ऑल इंडिया और होमोजेनस रीजन्स जो टॉप रैंक आप देखेंगे तो जो इस बार टेम्परेचर रिकॉर्ड किया गया है, इसमें ऑल इंडिया लेवल पे मिनिमम टेम्परेचर को कोई ऐसे कुछ आंकड़ा नहीं है, क्योंकि बहुत ज़्यादा रहा, अपने टॉप 4 में रहा है मिनिमम टेम्परेचर फॉर ऑल इंडिया। सो इसका मतलब हुआ कि कोल्ड वेव कंडीशंस ऐसे कुछ देखने को नहीं मिला। सिर्फ बिहार और दार्जिलिंग एरिया में जैसे कोल्ड वेव कंडीशन से 6 लोगों का मृत्यु हो गया है। सो हम ऑल इंडिया जनवरी का जो टेम्परेचर रिकॉर्ड किया गया, इसको हम कंपेयर करें तो 2024 जैसे हम अभी पहले बोल रहा था कि ये 4th रैंक में है मिनिमम टेम्परेचर, दैट मीन्स द हाईएस्ट 4th टेम्परेचर रिकॉर्ड किया गया 2024 में जनवरी महीना में। सो इसका मतलब ये हुआ कि ज़्यादा ठंड अनुभव नहीं हुआ रात में 2024 का जनवरी में भारतवर्ष के लिए, और कोल्ड वेव कंडीशंस इसलिए ज़्यादा भी हुआ नहीं है। मगर हम डिफरेंट, इफ वी कंसिडर डिफरेंट रीजन्स, फॉर एग्जांपल सेंट्रल इंडिया, it was more warm, it was the second rank for the minimum temperature. Southern Peninsula also आप देखेंगे it was 5th rank, and South Peninsula of maximum temperature 5th rank and minimum temperature was the 2nd rank. So what I want to say that the minimum temperature was quite higher as compared to normal, and maximum temperature was quite less as compared to the normal. Okay.
वो पुराने चुनौतियों का पूरा परास्त करते हुए अपने ज्यादा से ज्यादा ऊर्जा भविष्य निर्माण में
Please mute your mic.
मैक्सिमम टेम्परेचर का हम बात करते हैं तो फरवरी 26 में मासिक अधिकतम तापमान उत्तर पश्चिम भारत, पश्चिम मध्य भारत और पूर्वोत्तर भारत के अधिकांश हिस्सों और पूर्व मध्य भारत के कुछ हिस्सों में सामान्य से अधिक रहने की संभावना है। प्रायद्वीपीय भारत के अधिकांश हिस्सों और पूर्व मध्य भारत के कुछ हिस्सों और पूर्वोत्तर भारत के कुछ इलाका में भी सामान्य से नीचे अधिकतम तापमान होने का संभावना है फरवरी में। मैं अभी इसको सारांश हिंदी में बताता हूँ। फरवरी 2024 के दौरान 7 मौसम संबंधी उपखंड जैसे कि पूर्व उत्तर प्रदेश, पश्चिम उत्तर प्रदेश, उत्तराखंड, हरियाणा, चंडीगढ़, दिल्ली, पंजाब, हिमाचल प्रदेश, जम्मू और कश्मीर और लद्दाख वाले उत्तर भारत में मासिक वर्षा सामान्य से अधिक यानी 122% से ज्यादा होने का संभावना है। फरवरी 2024 के दौरान पूरे देश में मासिक वर्षा सामान्य से अधिक यानी 119% से ज्यादा होने का संभावना है। उत्तर पश्चिम, पूर्वोत्तर और मध्य भारत के अधिकांश हिस्सों में सामान्य से लेकर सामान्य से अधिक वर्षा होने की संभावना है। दक्षिण प्रायद्वीपीय भारत के अधिकांश हिस्सों में सामान्य से नीचे वर्षा होने की संभावना है। फरवरी 2024 के दौरान देश के अधिकांश हिस्सों में मासिक न्यूनतम तापमान सामान्य से अधिक रहने का संभावना है। फरवरी 2024 में मासिक अधिकतम तापमान उत्तर पश्चिम भारत, पश्चिम मध्य भारत और पूर्वोत्तर भारत के अधिकांश हिस्सों और पूर्व मध्य भारत के कुछ हिस्सों में सामान्य से अधिक रहने की संभावना है। प्रायद्वीपीय भारत के अधिकांश हिस्सों और पूर्व मध्य भारत के कुछ हिस्सों और पूर्वोत्तर भारत के कुछ इलाकों में सामान्य से लेकर सामान्य से नीचे अधिकतम तापमान होने की संभावना है। फरवरी 2024 के महीने के दौरान मध्य भारत के कुछ हिस्सों में सामान्य से नीचे शीतलहर वाले दिन होने की उम्मीद किया जाता है। अभी अगले 4 हफ्ते या 3 हफ्ते की मैं पूर्वानुमान आपको बताऊं तो जैसे हम सभी को पता है कि उत्तर पश्चिम भारत में अभी वेस्टर्न डिस्टर्बेंस की वजह से रेन और स्नोफॉल जारी है और ये अभी एक्सपेक्टेड है। 2 कॉन्जिक्यूटिव वेस्टर्न डिस्टर्बेंस अभी नॉर्थ वेस्ट इंडिया को प्रभावित कर रहे हैं और अर्जेनिक सेंट्रल इंडिया भी प्रभावित हो सकता है और पहला वेस्टर्न डिस्टर्बेंस अभी चल रहा है जिसकी वजह से आज और कल माने 31 जनवरी और 1 फरवरी को जारी रहेगा वेदर। फिर 2 तारीख को थोड़े से विराम होते हुए फिर 3, 4 और 5 तारीख को और एक वेस्टर्न डिस्टर्बेंस के साथ नॉर्थ ईस्ट इंडिया प्रभावित होगा। तो इसके बारे में हम लगातार प्रेस रिलीज प्रेस विवरण दे रहे हैं और ये हमारा पूर्वानुमान था जो इशू हुआ था लास्ट थर्सडे को। और ये डिपार्चर देखें तो ये बारिश की वजह से जो प्रेसिपिटेशन होगा, रेनफॉल स्नोफॉल होगा वो नॉर्मल से ज्यादा होने का संभावना है। इसके अतिरिक्त पूरा कंट्री में ज्यादा कुछ बारिश होने का संभावना नहीं है मगर नॉर्थ ईस्टर्न स्टेट्स में कुछ बारिश होने का संभावना है। अभी टेम्परेचर की बात करें तो मैक्सिमम टेम्परेचर का डिपार्चर देखें कि नॉर्मल से आप देखें कि ये जैसे ही वेस्टर्न डिस्टर्बेंस 2 पास कर रहे हैं सो मैक्सिमम टेम्परेचर भी वीक 1 जो अभी खत्म होने वाला है 1 फरवरी में वो नॉर्मल से ज्यादा रहने की संभावना है और सेकेंड वीक में भी ज्यादातर इलाके में विंडो गेजेटिक प्लेन्स में टेम्परेचर ज्यादा रहेगा और दूसरा इलाके में टेम्परेचर बिलो नॉर्मल रहने का संभावना है। और मिनिमम टेम्परेचर की बात करें तो अभी जो 1 फरवरी तक तो हम सबको पता है मगर जो 2 फरवरी से 8 फरवरी जो वीक है मिनिमम टेम्परेचर भी ज्यादा रहेगा नॉर्मल से क्योंकि क्लाउडीनेस रहेगा, फॉग भी आ सकता है और क्योंकि वेस्टर्न डिस्टर्बेंस पास कर रहा है इसलिए मिनिमम टेम्परेचर नॉर्मल से ज्यादा रहने का संभावना है। अभी अगले 5 दिन का जो हम वार्निंग इशू की है इम्पैक्ट बेस्ड फोरकास्ट एंड रिस्क बेस्ड वार्निंग जो इशू कर रहे हैं इसमें हम ऑरेंज कलर वार्निंग दिए हैं अभी जम्मू एंड कश्मीर, हिमाचल प्रदेश, पंजाब, हरियाणा, चंडीगढ़, दिल्ली के लिए आज और कल के लिए हम हिमाचल प्रदेश, उत्तराखंड, पंजाब, हरियाणा, चंडीगढ़, दिल्ली के लिए दिए हैं ऑरेंज कलर वार्निंग। इसके साथ साथ येलो कलर वार्निंग रिमेनिंग पार्ट्स ऑफ इंडो गेजेटिक प्लेन्स में दिया गया है जहां की हम रेनफॉल और थंडरस्टॉर्म्स, एक्कम्पैनिंग थंडरस्टॉर्म्स, कभी कभी हेलस्टॉर्म भी हम एक्सपेक्ट कर रहे हैं और हिली रीजन में स्नोफॉल हम एक्सपेक्ट कर रहे हैं स्पेशली जो अपर रीचेस है वहां भी हेवी स्नोफॉल होने का भी संभावना को हम अवॉइड नहीं कर सकते हैं। सो जैसे ही आपका ये 5 दिन का फोरकास्ट में दिखाई दे रहा है ज्यादा एक्टिविटी आज ही है नॉर्थ वेस्ट इंडिया, कल भी कंटिन्यू करेगा मगर थोड़ी से कम हो सकता है जैसे राजस्थान वगैरह इलाका में मगर हिमाचल प्रदेश, उत्तराखंड इलाके में जारी रहेगा। कल फिर 2 तारीख को एक्टिविटी कम हो रहा है फिर 3 तारीख को और एक वेस्टर्न डिस्टर्बेंस आ रहा है जिसकी वजह से एक्टिविटी फिर शुरू हो जाएगा और स्टार्टिंग विथ जम्मू एंड कश्मीर एंड राजस्थान, पंजाब, हरियाणा। सो थैंक यू वेरी मच। हम इसके साथ इसको विराम देते हैं मणि को और आप सभी को अभी निवेदन करते हैं कोई आपको कमेंट्स क्वेश्चन है तो आप कर सकते हैं।
Hello, sir. Koshi, can you hear me?
Yes, Dekab ji.
So just a very simple question. Now that we are seeing these western disturbances that are now approaching North India, do you see a increase in maximum and minimum temperatures over the next few days, or will it be some more time before we see an increase in maximum temperatures? Thank you.
Yeah, as we know that western disturbance is affecting already northwest India, and it will continue its effect today and tomorrow. Thereafter, another western disturbance will approach from third onwards. Again, it will start. So therefore, there is a consecutive, successive impact. Therefore, this week up to fifth, you can have cloudiness, and there is no scope for rise in maximum temperatures. But after that, there could be rise in maximum temperature. About the minimum temperature, yes, when there is a western disturbance, cloudiness increases, the minimum temperature rises. Therefore, the minimum temperature will continue for next 5 to 6 days to be on the higher side. And therefore, no cold wave conditions we are expecting for next 5 days. But after that, whenever these two systems pass out, then we have to monitor again to find out if there is any western disturbance or not. And then accordingly, there could be variations. But as the trend goes on, we are entering into February, so there will be a climatological trend of rising temperature, and hence the probability of occurrence of cold wave again is quite less.
Okay.
Hello.
Okay. Yes, please.
Yeah, I just wanted to confirm. Actually, you had just said that there was forecast of normal rainfall in northwest India in the month of January, but it turned out to be second lowest since 1901. So how much it deviated from the forecast? Basically, the IMD might have been some idea that it's going to be just dry month of Jan. So how much it deviated from your forecast?
Yeah, you told already that we predicted that it will be normal over northwest India, taking together that all subdivisions within northwest India. But it was found to be the deficient rainfall activity, highly deficient rainfall activity. So the forecast went wrong. I should admit that forecast has gone wrong. But I will tell you that it is like this, that it is not completely wrong. We predicted that there will be deficient rainfall over Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, Ladakh, and that has happened. But the expectation that there will be rainfall over the plains of northwest India, that did not happen. That was the model, whatever we consider multimodal ensemble, based on that, we predicted that rainfall will be higher over the plains, but that did not happen. Punjab, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, or Uttarakhand, they did not also get any rainfall activity against the forecast. So therefore, there is a deviation. The next point I want to say that the normal, if you just look at normal amount of rainfall what we get in month of January for the plains of northeast India is not quite high. Usually we get more rainfall activity in the hills. So therefore, this departure in terms of percentage we should not take into consideration. That will show very high departure, as you told, and I also agree with that. Departure will be quite high if you compare, but it is not the month when you get very high amount of rainfall. It is less amount of rainfall. But we have analyzed what happened actually, why the model could not predict. That we have analyzed. So one of the most important finding is that the North Atlantic oscillation. The North Atlantic oscillation, when it is an index, North Atlantic oscillation index. So when it is in the negative phase, that does not favor any intense or active western disturbance approaching the region. And as all of us know that even there was 5 western disturbances, all moved towards the north, and there was no active impact over the hills or the plains of northwest India. So model could sense that to a large extent with respect to the impact over the hills, but with respect to the plains impact, the model could not pick up. So this is the lessons learned, and the physics or the physical aspects behind the deficient rainfall that occurred in the month of January. More or less, the direct cause is the less frequent and less intense western disturbance affecting northwest India. And the root cause is the North Atlantic oscillation, which was not favorable for causing more active western disturbances or more rainfall or precipitation activity over the plains of northwest India.
Thank you.
Am I clear?
Yeah, thank you. But so our focus now should be definitely on to correct the forecast so they might not go haywire.
Yeah, that is a ongoing process. हम बैठे नहीं, थोड़ी हम बैठे रहते हैं. जब जैसे मैंने आपको अभी बताया ना, we went for what went wrong that we found out. Okay, so that is I'll tell you a real-time exercise carried out by IMD, and by that way IMD has grown. We learn from the lessons, and whatever corrections are required, that we take into consideration, and it is an evolving process. And by that way, forecast will further improve.
Thank you.
निरुद्ध
हाँ,
सर
yes,
रेखा
please.
दीक्षित है।
सर मैं ये जानना चाह रहा था अभी जब सर्दी का एक्सप्लेनेशन दिया गया 2 हफ्ते पहले तो 2-3 टर्म्स यूज हुए जिसमें बताया गया जो आप अभी भी प्रयोग कर रहे थे कि वेस्टर्न डिस्टरबेंस कम प्रभावी रहे और एक वर्ड प्रयोग किया गया था जेट स्ट्रीम्स काफी
Yes,
जी
yes.
तो
You
उस
are
बारे
right,
में हम
Anuruddh
समझना
ji. You are right, Anuruddh ji. I reiterated that term jet stream. We also mentioned in our weather bulletins. So one of the most important weather feature during month of January 2024 was the persistent jet stream with a wind speed of about 140 kilometers per hour or more. It occurs in the month of winter. We used to get jet stream, and jet stream passes through around 30-degree 30-degree latitude. And if that jet stream shifts towards the south, it brings more cold air, and hence it becomes colder. And that type of jet stream was persisting over Indo-Gangetic plains for days together in the month of January. And there are different areas associated with jet stream. Certain areas will lead to the subsidence and increase in colder air, and certain area also will have development of clouds, etc. So the subsidence related with the decrease in temperature and the colder day conditions were more prevailing in Indian regions, especially Northwest India, in association with the jet stream. So thank you very much for bringing it to my notice. So one reason for this cold day was the foggy conditions or the low level cloud conditions on most of the days, 33 days starting from 25th of December till 30th of January. The second one was and the jet stream, as I explained it now and you pointed out. The third one was the less intense and less frequent western disturbances, which did not cause any disruption. Accordingly, it could not recover from these conditions, and continuously that continued. And of course, the root cause, as I told you, there are certain points people also asked me whether El Nino and Southern Oscillation has any role with respect to this one. There is no such established relationship. But one thing is clear, if you've got El Nino, what happens actually near about the tropical region, the warm air increases and it pushes the colder air towards the north. And so by that way, what happens, you are not getting the western disturbances in Indian region. But at the same time, it is a proven analysis by the researchers that North Atlantic Oscillation has certain relationship with the frequency of western disturbances affecting Northwest India and also their activity in terms of the precipitation over Northwest India. And that relationship I told you. Positive NAO favors more
What is
active
the
and
relationship
western
between the
disturbances. Negative NAO favors less intense and less frequent western disturbances and hence precipitation.
So what is the relationship between the North Atlantic Oscillation and Western disturbance?
That I told now, no? I repeated twice. That negative
I know you
North
said that, but
Atlantic Oscillation Index does not favor western disturbances. It leads to the less active and less frequent western disturbances affecting Northwest India. Positive North Atlantic Oscillation Index favors more active and more intense western disturbances affecting Northwest India. Am I clear?
yes, thank you.
So I just wanted a follow-up question. Is there a pattern setting in that we are viewing less western disturbances during the months of January and December, but suddenly in February we are seeing much more rain. In this, we have also forecast above normal rain for February over India. Now, is this not this North Atlantic oscillation phenomenon? Is it emerging as a pattern, or is it just one of those, you know, yearly kind of anomalies that we are seeing this year?
Yeah, it is an oscillation, just like we have got here IOD and then El Nino, etc. There is Southern Oscillation Index. Similarly, there is North Atlantic Oscillation Index, etc. It is an oscillation. It changes its behavior during the year itself and from one year to other year. But as you told correctly, that yes, there is a pattern. That means there is a trend, and trend is that the frequency of the western disturbances affecting Northeast India are showing a decreasing trend for the period December to February taken together. If you take the period December to February, in these 3 months, usually we consider this is the winter period. In this period, the number or the frequency of the western disturbances, based on data of 1990 onwards, we have analyzed, and our colleagues are here. It shows a decreasing trend. And same is reflected if you consider total precipitation over the western Himalayan region, like Jammu and Kashmir, Ladakh, Himachal Pradesh, and Uttarakhand taken together. It shows a decreasing trend. But that doesn't mean that every year or every month there will be a decrease. But there is a trend over the period of time. There is a trend of decrease.
Is there any explanation for that, sir? Why this trend might be set? I mean, I know other than the Northern Atlantic Oscillation Index going down, but any other phenomenon?
Yeah, certainly there are a lot of research. People do not leave it. So the trend is explained in this way, that it is people link it with the climate change aspects also, that the subtropical high is also showing the shifting towards the north. Okay, so if the subtropical high shows a trend shifting towards north, and certainly the western disturbances which are developing in the westerlies, that has to shift towards the north, and hence the active western disturbances frequency affecting Northeast India will be less. But again, you may ask, why subtropical highs are shifting towards north? The temperature is rising. There is a global rise in temperature. Because of the global rise in temperature, certainly the shift in the subtropical high.
If you could just explain subtropical high, I am not very familiar with that.
If you look at the geography or the climatology, what happens actually, you have got a high pressure belt, which is, you can say, all deserts, are connected with the high pressure belt. Starting with the Sahel desert to Mongolia or whatever you say. So there is a zone globally, and they are characterized by the higher pressure. And that region lies in subtropics. So, for example, in the month of January, the location is in about 30-degree latitude in Indian region. And it occurs at a height of about, say, 9 kilometer to 12 kilometers. Okay. And that high pressure belt, this is the region where you have the high pressure. That means high pressure means it will not have a sinking motion, etc. usually. So this subtropical high is associated with the frequency, intensity, and movement of the western disturbances, because western disturbances occur in this latitude, and they start with, say, Caspian Sea, Red Sea, Mediterranean Sea region, and they move towards the east. And when they reach our area, they reach near about latitude 25 to 30 degrees. So therefore, subtropical high has a lot to do with respect to their movement, intensifications, characteristics, etc. And these western disturbances also are related with the temperature difference from north to south. And subtropical highs will decide the temperature difference between north and south, starting with from polar towards the tropical region. So this is a global scale phenomena. I will not discuss so much. I tried to explain as simple as possible to you.
Yes, sir. That's quite clear.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Otherwise, Okay. So thank you very much on behalf of India Meteorological Department. I thank all our friends and colleagues from press and electronic media for their patience hearing, and also for their cooperation in communicating to the people about the weather information and forecast generated by IMD and the climate informations. So we'll meet again next month, and also in between whenever there is a need. So thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.